Hey guys, how you doing? This is Bruce Kiefer, and I'm gonna carry this a little bit further. I'm gonna talk a little bit about what we call rapport words, and in matching someone's personality based upon the way they look at life, the way they look at life. And as a result of that, if you can listen to what they're saying and repeat back in those same words that they're using, then you'll create rapport with them. And it's not magic. It's not magic, but most people don't know how to do it. So therefore, they have a difficult time in connecting with people because they don't use the same verbiage as that person that they're talking to. So you can actually see this too when they're writing, when they're speaking, when they're moving around. There's a couple different ways to look at it. I'll give it to you real quick. We'll break it down. We have the visual person, we have the auditory person, we have the kinesthetic person. And so the auditory person is the one that hears everything, the visual person is the one that sees everything, and the kinesthetic person is the one that feels everything. Now, those three, if you can just kind of focus on those things for a moment, you'll begin to understand who is who and what is what. So if you're sitting there talking about, well, I'd like you to hear what I have to say, and that person comes back and says, well, I don't really see what you're saying. Or I don't really picture what it is that you're trying to show me, or something like that. You know automatically that you have a visual person, and you need to speak in terms of how it looks to them, how they see things, how they view it, how they can picture it, how they can imagine it, how they can remember in imagery, a past experience, how it looked to them, how it was seen, anything like that. So that's a visual person. So you wanna try and connect on that way. So then the next step we'll switch over to an auditory person, and that's a person who uses words like, I need to tell you something. Not sure what you said. Can you make it a little clearer this time? My hearing isn't as good as it used to be. I need to tell you something. Anything along those lines, you have an auditory person, and that person's going to say, you know what, you're speaking too loud. I can't hear you. I want to understand what you're saying, but it's important that I hear you in the same light, the same tone as what I'm speaking, in order to make a connection. And speaking of connection is now a little bit different. Connection is what we call kinesthetic. So kinesthetic is, if you notice, people will move around and they'll use their hands and things like this, and they'll move their head and all these kind of things. If you see these kind of people moving back and forth, and you can kind of know that they're kinesthetic. I mean, this is not rocket science. It's not as difficult as people make it, but they do. They just make their life so difficult sometimes because they're frustrated with what they can't figure out. When so many things are right in front of you, but you need to look at it. You need to look at it. You need to see it. You need to hear it. You need to feel it, and all those things, and sometimes smell it, sometimes taste it. But whatever those frames of references are, and whatever yours is, understand that's where you're coming from, and it's going to be important for you to have relationships in your life where people are coming from the same direction. So if you happen to have a child that is auditory and you're visual, and you're sitting there telling Johnny, hey Johnny, I need you to see this. I need you to see this. I need you to look at this right now. And Johnny's going, well, I don't really see it. I don't really see it. I just want to hear what you have to say. Well, that's what I'm trying to say. And this is what it's all about. This is what all about relationship building, connection is. And all this frustration that's out there is that we're not paying attention to the symbols. We're not paying attention to the things that are right in front of our face, but we refuse to acknowledge them. And then that's really part of why we have difficulty getting along in life. Okay, thanks very much. This is Bruce. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll come on, and maybe we'll do some tasting, do some taste testing next time. All right, talk to you later. See you guys. Okay, bye.